3.
Aintree, and they're all set to enjoy the greatest steeplechase in the world, in spite of the weather. All set to pick the winner, too. But whatever your fancy, it's best to remember that, like the name of the first winner, it's a lottery. Goosander, last year's favourite, or Centina, one of the Irish hopes. I wish I'd known then Mr. What I know now. So I say, chaps, a couple of smashing fillies. As for the bookies, they were out for another field day, in spite of the fact that thousands of punters were out to beat them. What a hope. All bets placed? Right, then after that preliminary canter, let's get on with the job. Away they go on their journey of almost 4.5 miles with 30 jumps to take.
I have to admit that I've never been racing in my life. The only horse I ever backed was one I drew in a sweepstake. As a punter, in fact, I must be a bookmaker's dream. This programme tells the story of a man who was a bookie's nightmare, the story of a man who couldn't lose. It begins in Oxford, just after the war. Lord Kilbracken, John Godley as he was in those days, was 25, when something happened that changed the whole course of his life.
In 1946, after 5 years in the Navy, I was an undergraduate at Balliol College, Oxford, reading economics. On the night of March the 8th, I worked very late until long after midnight. And I know that it's been proved that one has many dreams every night. I don't often remember them. But on this particular occasion, I had a very special reason for remembering.
John Godley had no idea that he was about to be allowed a glimpse of the future. He'd never given a thought to fortune-tellers or clairvoyants, and the idea of breaking the laws of time would have struck him as entirely irrational.
I dreamt I was reading the next day's paper. It was the London Evening Standard, and I turned to the racing results. I was living in Holywell Manor, an annex of Balliol College. That morning, I'd overslept because I'd been working late the night before, and it was too late for me to get breakfast there. So I walked into town and called into a hotel for a coffee.
Most undergraduates were pushed for money, then as now. But the Oxford hotels welcomed their trade, and it didn't surprise Godley to find a friend, Richard Freeman, in the lounge.
This breakfast?
I didn't wake up till after 10.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, morning, Rose. Oh, can I have some coffee?
Coffee for one and toast, sir?
Would be lovely. You know, I had the most extraordinary dream last night. I dreamt I was reading today's papers. In fact, I was reading the racing results in tonight's Standard.
Well, I hope you remember some winners.
I do, as a matter of fact. 2. One was Bindle, and the other was Juladin.
It would be odd if they were running, wouldn't it? Irish Peach, Jane's Slipper. Did you say Bindle? He's running in the 1 o'clock at Plumpton.
Really? What a coincidence. How about Juladin?
Juladin. No, he doesn't seem to be running today.
No. Well, I think I must have a few bob on Bindle, just for the hell of it.
It's enough to turn one grey.
Thank you, boys.
Things are topsy-turvy since the talkies came to stay. But the Yankees say go blimey and the Cockneys say okay.
One of my close friends at Oxford at the time was Michael Pilch, now a pension consultant in Croydon. That was in Oxford days, and we haven't met again until now. But I think he still has a recollection of the day.
Well, indeed I do. I've dined out on the story ever since, John. I remember we were going out on the river that afternoon, and we all planned to meet at Balliol at the college.
In the Times that day, only one race meeting at Plumpton had been listed, and Bindle's name was amongst those runners. It didn't occur to me at first that there might be another meeting that day. And when we came to look at the Daily Express, we found sure enough that there was racing that day at Wetherby, a meeting which hadn't been listed in the Times. And amongst those runners, in the 4 o'clock race, I found the name of Juladin. When they saw this, all my friends began pressing money on me and asking me to back both horses for them, and I reluctantly accepted because I didn't personally feel any confidence, and I wasn't happy about losing other people's money. I was much too hard up to go racing very much in those days, but I did have a credit account with a bookmaker in London, and so I was able to place bets with him.
Can I have a 50-bob win on each, and a 50-bob win double, right? And a straight £5 on each to win. All right? Oh, what are they betting? 6-4 Bindle, 10-1 Juladin. Good, thank you.
I could have found out the result of Bindle's race by telephoning my bookie immediately after the race. But I had already decided that I would have to force the dream to come through in as much detail as possible. And I therefore waited till the result would be in the evening papers that day.
Hello? This is John Godley. I see Bindle's won. So I've got, what, £11 to come? Yes. I'd like to place it all onto Juladin to win. Yes, to win. Thank you very much.
I had already decided that I was going to make this dream come true. And my younger brother, Wynne, was also an undergraduate at that time. And I explained to him my conviction that I should force things to happen as they had done in the dream. And we went together to buy a second evening paper.
That's standard. Honey. Thank you. It's come up. We've got the double.
I don't know how much I made on it, but I do know that what impressed me chiefly about John's dream was the way in which he saw the actual results of the race set out in the stop press with the prices of the winners and so on. And that's really what convinced me that it was a genuine case of precognition. Certainly, we were sufficiently impressed to have a small whip round and try to recreate the circumstances of John's dream exactly. We bought him exactly the same foods to eat, put him to bed at the same time. We didn't quite go to the lengths of sitting round his bed and waiting for the results of a dream in the morning. But perhaps we tried too hard, I don't know. There weren't any results at all from it. And then the end of the term came and John went back to Ireland. We gave him the money and our addresses so that he could get in touch with us if anything happened.
I spent the next vacation at Killigar, my home in Ireland, on the borders of Cavan and Leitrim, in the deep countryside. Other members of my family were there, my father, my stepmother, my sister Catherine, and my brother Wynne.
Mummy, more tea? Coffee, sorry. How about you then? Eh? Come on, baby.
Thank you, Mary.
Up, up, up. Good boy. Up. Ah. He's getting quite good at that. Ah! Here he is at last.
Sorry. Morning.
Morning.
Morning, Mark. I've done it again.
Done what again? Overslept?
No. No, thanks, Mary. I've dreamt another winner.
Oh, John.
Tubermore.
Tubermore? Tubermore? I've never heard of a horse called Tubermore.
Well, we can find that out.
I think that's his name.
Well,
I was reading the papers. I saw all the winners, in fact. Oh, Tubermore's the only one I can remember.
Oh.
we must get the form book.
Do you remember where you last saw it?
The common room.
Oh, that's true. Yes, it was up there.
Oh, go and
if
get
you
it.
go, no.
We had to find out if Tubermore was running that day. The papers didn't arrive till next day, and the only way was to drive 5 miles into the nearest village to get a paper there. Despite the serious petrol shortage, that's what we decided to do.
I wish I'd known he was taking the motor. I've run out of cigarettes.
What's it gone for?
Heads. Post office.
So. What for?
Newspaper, I suppose. Tails. Uh-huh.
It wasn't running that day. Next day, I decided to ring up Mrs. McGuinness, the postmistress in Carrigallen, and someone who knows everything that's going on around about.
Hello, Mrs. McGuinness. Do you know whether there's a horse called Tubermore running at Aintree?
Would that be in the Grand National?
Not sure.
You don't know? Well, just wait, Mr. John, till I look in the paper. There's nothing of that name. But in the first race, there is a horse like it. It's called, oh, let me see now, Tuber Rose. Would that be the one you'd be wanting?
Could be.
Is it a good tip you have?
No. Thank you, Mrs. McGuinness. I'll call again.
Thank you, Mr. John. Goodbye.
Oh, rubbish. Look, you dreamt that this thing won. It didn't come second or third, so what on earth's the point of backing it each way? Let's have £1 to win.
Come on, he didn't even get the name right.
It's true. I couldn't be sure.
Oh, you're a couple of old stick-in-the-muds. Look, this thing worked once, so let's back it to work again. Look, how much can we raise?
I've got an idea. Let's make it £1 to win and £1 each way, just to be on the safe side, eh?
All right.
Right. So that's £1 win and a £2 place. All right?
Is it a real good thing? Well, that's a big bet. I'll see if I can get it on at Clunes. Is it past the post, Mr. John? Is it sure to win? Should I have a bet on?
No. It's just a hunch. No, don't back it yourself in any account. I don't think it's got much chance. No, we just thought we'd have a little flutter.
Still, that's a big bet. I'll do my best.
It looked as if Tuberose would start at about 8 to 1. And as the bet was for more than a few shillings, the local bookie was unlikely to accept it. Their hopes lay with the bookmaker in the next small town.
Well?
It's on.
It's funny, isn't it? But there's this horse somewhere.
in a stable or a horse box or wherever. And this afternoon, he's going to race.
And he's going to win.
And the owner doesn't know. And the trainer doesn't know. And the jockey doesn't know. But we know that Tuber Rose is going to win. He is, isn't he?
And that's the end of the news. Now the racing results. First, racing at Brighton. The 2 o'clock. First, Mayfair. Second, Trumpet Call. Third, Rings and Things. The 2:30. First, Sierra Verde. Second, French Reverse. Third, Rapport. Racing at Aintree. In the 3 o'clock, first, Pirate Prince. Second, Obstacle. Third, Grove's Boy. The 4 o'clock, first, Tuber Rose. Second, Traveller's Joy.
In those days, the BBC didn't give the odds when they read out the racing results. And it wasn't until next morning that we found out how much we had won. Then, from the morning papers, we discovered that he had started at 100 to 6, and we had won well over £60 between us. In the meantime, it seems that my fame had spread, and wherever I went, I was asked, "Have you been dreaming lately?" But I always had to say no, until late in July, when I was working during the vacation in my brother's rooms in Oxford.
I remembered the details of the dream with great clarity. I had been walking down Beaumont Street. I had lit a cigarette. I glanced at my watch, and then I entered the Randolph Hotel. I went into the call box in the hotel, and I remember that I found it very stuffy inside.
Hello? I'd like to call London, please. Museum 2345, Oxford 2014. Yes?
I put 2 and 6 in the coin box to make a phone call to my bookmaker to find out the result of a race.
Hello? This is John Godley. Could you give me the winner of the last race, please? Thank you.
Monument. Oh, blast.
Monumento, last race, 5-4.
I went round to the Playhouse for a coffee that morning, and there found that there was a horse with the very similar name of Mentores running in the last race at Worcester and forecast at 5-4. I mentioned it to several of my friends there, but I myself still felt very sceptical about the whole thing. And I called my bookie and I placed a bet on the telephone of £4 to win.
Soon after the race, I walked down Beaumont Street, I lit a cigarette, I looked at my watch, and I entered the Randolph Hotel. I went into the call box, and as in my dream, I found it very stuffy. I put 2 and 6pence into the coin box and made the call to my bookmaker.
Hello? I'd like to call London, please. Museum 2345. Hello? This is John Godley. Could you give me the winner of the last race, please? Thank you very much.
The fourth dream was on Friday, the 13th of June, 1947, and this time it was quite different. This time I was at the races, and I didn't know the names of the horses, but I recognized the winning jockey as being the Australian rider Edgar Brett, and I recognized the colors as being those of the Gateway of Baroda. And then, a few seconds later, another race was taking place, and I could hear the shouts of the crowd, "The bogey, the bogey, it's the bogey wins." At that time, I was seeing a lot of Angel, and I went to tell her about the dream.
Angel!
Don't yell. What's happening?
I've dreamt another winner. 2, in fact.
Marvellous. Hang on, I'm coming down.
I wanna hear it again, I wanna hear it again. The old piano roll good. We're sitting at an upright.
Hello.
Oh. Look, here we are. At Lingfield, Baroda Squadron, jockey Edgar Britt.
What was the other one? You said 2.
I seem to remember in the dream the crowd saying something that Bogey had won.
Bogey? There's nothing there called the bogey.
No.
Wait a minute. Here's one called the Brogue. Well, that's near enough, isn't it?
Well, that settles it then. The Brogue and Baroda Squadron will win at Lingfield this afternoon. Come and have a drink.
We decided to write out an account of it, and to have this account witnessed independently so that we would have a written record.
Do you think it's worth mentioning the fact that I dreamt that it was Bogey and you looked it up and found out it was Brogue in the paper?
Sure.
I was thinking of selling the story to a newspaper because I couldn't afford to put more than £1 or 2 on these horses. And I had the idea that it would be more profitable to sell it to a foreign newspaper, probably one from the United States.
Angel had always been inclined to dismiss stories of premonitions, but like John Godley's other friends, she was intrigued and rather baffled by what was going on, and she still remembers the whole business very vividly. She's now Mrs. Angelica Guillaume de Saint-Prix, and she lives in Cambridge.
Before, he'd never really set it out so that it, had to be believed. So we sat down and we thought out how to do this and decided that it would be a good idea if we could get hold of a solicitor and record it somehow with him. But it was a Saturday morning, as I remember, and of course there wasn't a solicitor available. And I think it was I who suddenly thought that the post office, the local post office, was quite close to where I lived. So I said, well, why don't you write it down and we'll take it across the post office and get it date stamped.
Marvellous. There's no one in the office. They said he'd ring back in an hour.
Well, that's cutting it fine if the race is at 4.
Yeah. I better get the bet on. I'd like to call London, please. Museum 2345. Oxford 4221. Thank you. Hello, this is John Godley. I'd like to place a £5 win double. Baroda Squadron and the Brogue. Yes. Thank you very much. Well, it's on. It's much more than we can afford.
The race was at 4 o'clock, and obviously I would have to get the name of the winner to the newspaper before then. By 3:45, we were getting really worried. In 15 minutes, the horses would be under starter's orders.
Hello, I'd like to see this in a dream that I've had about some various things. I want to be interested in your story. Please. I'll go speak to the department? Yes? You don't think it'll be of interest? Or would you let me to the train again? I see. Okay, thank you very much. Well, the New York paper's no good. They're interested, but there will be no payment.
Oh, John.
They say I should ring the Sunday Pictorial.
Well, go on then.
Right. Oh, God, no directory.
Hang on.
Ah, marvellous.
P. P.
Yeah, let me have
No,
a-
S. S. Sunday, S.
Right. Hello, I'd like to ring London, Flaxman 9331. Right. Hello, Flaxman, yes, I'm under interested in some dream that I've been having. I thought it might be of interest to you to your Sunday paper. It's about horse racing, actually. Is that, that's no good, eh? Yeah, well, oh, I think I know about that. I see.
How much will they pay?
They won't say. Yes? I really didn't think it'd be so difficult.
Who did you speak to?
I think I was talking to a senior reporter.
What did he say?
He said they'd use the story if the horses win.
Oh, they've got to win. Good luck, horses.
Baroda Squadron. Thank you very much. You won. 11 to 10 favourite.
And now, we just had to wait for the Brogue to win. With the double, it's all or nothing, because the stake that went on the first horse, plus all your winnings on the first horse, go on the second one. And if the second one loses, then you part with all you've won up till then. But if the second one wins, then you have quite a bonanza.
Let's come in. The brogue's come in. We've got our double. We've got our double.
But John Godley didn't make his fortune. The Sunday Pictorial only ran 2 column inches and paid him 30 shillings. Then the Daily Mirror took up the story. They paid him 25 guineas, and 6 months later offered him a job. That was the beginning of his career in journalism. He still had occasional dreams of horses, but a couple of these turned out to be losers. It looked as if his magic powers were on the wane.
I had 2 more winning dreams in those post-war years, and then for a decade or so, my gift deserted me. But then suddenly, when I happened to be in Monte Carlo in the month of February, it returned for what turned out to be the most lucrative and successful dream of them all. I dreamt that the Grand National had been won by the 3rd favourite, and his name was What Man. Next morning, I suddenly realized that this was one more opportunity. I managed to get hold of the runners for the Grand National many weeks ahead. And the nearest I could get to What Man was, of course, Mr. Watt. But he wasn't 3rd favourite. He was 66 to 1. And I made up my mind that this wasn't good enough. If it was What Man and was 3rd favourite, that would be good enough. But when it was Mr. Watt at 66 to 1, I decided not to have a bet. And so the weeks went by, and again I nearly forgot about it. And on the day of the Grand National, I found myself in Paris. I bought the morning paper and found that Mr. Watt was indeed now 3rd favourite at 18 to 1. Well, that was good enough for me. And I felt that day, although I couldn't really accept it and couldn't really believe in it, that I must have some strange power when circumstances had now coincided exactly to my dream of several months before. And I rang up my bookie in London, and I had a straight bet of £25 to win. I dreamt he was going to win, so there was no point in backing him each way. I had a period of great suspense, because I hoped that I was going to be, expected that I would be able to watch the race on television from Paris, or at least to hear it on the radio. But as I walked around the different little bars and bistros where there's usually a radio to be heard, everyone was listening to a soccer match between, I think, England and France. And I couldn't listen to the race being broadcast. But when it was over, I rang up my unfortunate bookie in London, and he told me that Mr. Watt had indeed won 3rd favourite at 18 to 1, and I picked up £450.
Beechers, once again the notorious jump is going to eliminate 2 runners from the race. Pippikin is down. Now Sidney Jones. He's the son of Davy Jones, who broke a rein and ran out when leading, remember? 22 jumps taken, and Mr. Watt holds on from Goosander with Green Drill not far off. Mr. Watt, heading for victory, leads Goosander and Green Drill over the canal turn. As Goosander fades out of the picture, it's Green Drill, number 14, who's taken his place. But from now to the end, it's almost a certainty that Mr. Watt and Arthur Freeman are bound to do it. Remembering Devon Lock 2 years ago, of course, the Nationals never won before the winning post. At the last fence, Mr. Watt hits the top. He lands badly, but quickly recovers and gallops on. 30 lengths ahead of Tiberetta with Green Drill third. Mr. Watt fairly romps home the winner at 18-1.